What's up, creatives, and welcome to another Romeo show. Coming up, my videos from last week, my finished commission piece, and also my 2-year anniversary for being a sketch artist. So what were you all waiting for, people? Let's roll intro. Welcome everybody to the Romeo show. My name is Romeo. I am a sketch and motivational artist, uploading art therapy videos on a Wednesday and ASMR videos on every other Friday, and also a weekly show, this one right here, every Tuesday too. So on a Wednesday I upload art therapy videos, either being Zentangle patterns or Mandala patterns that I upload. These videos are brilliant if you want to follow along or just chill out too and just relax and watch. They all come in chapters now, so they're very easy to navigate around and are quite straightforward and easy to follow. If you didn't catch my video from last week, here is a quick clip. And if you want to watch the full version of that video, just click that link. That's just at the top there. On a Friday at 8 PM, I upload a ASMR video. These are videos that you can follow along to if you wish, but they are mainly there for you to just sit back and relax and watch me draw. These are dotting videos. If you didn't see last week's Friday's video, here is a quick clip. And if you want to watch the full version of that video, just click that link. That's just at the top there. I also uploaded my shorts video as well. This was an ending to the commission piece that I was drawing, so I was just finishing off a few little bits and pieces to it. So I decided to make a quick little shorts video on that. If you didn't watch that video, just click that link. That's just at the top there. And yes, I completed my commission piece that I was drawing for my client. I was drawing her 3 dogs for her. Here is a picture of that finished commission piece. It came out absolutely brilliant. This picture was done with using just 3 separate pictures. On the last dog picture, I had to flip the picture around just so that all the dogs were facing inside. One thing that I always stress to people when they are sending me pictures for me to draw in, that they are clear and crisp pictures. I need good quality pictures with good detail in them as well if you want to see as much detail in the picture. The dog in the middle, the picture that I got wasn't as clear, so I had to make up a few little bits and pieces, but so the picture that I was given was this picture here, and then I drew the dog picture. So I do need clear, good quality pictures to do. I can draw without, but if you want to see all the real details and have it look as realistic as possible, good clear quality pictures is a must. If you would like me to draw a sketch for you, you can contact me at romeo@romeosketches.co.uk. Email me and I'll get back to you. At the moment there is a waiting list, but I will put your name down on the waiting list. I do stress as well to my clients as well that to not have a time limit for when they want their pictures done. I like to take my time with my pictures and really sort of not rush my drawings or anything like that. So if you are looking to get a picture done as well, please don't be wanting it in a rush. Like I do need a good few weeks to draw the picture. Obviously, I do the show as well, so I have other bits and pieces that I do. But I do the drawing, and when it's finished, even though it might take me a while to do, the end result is absolutely brilliant. The other day, we celebrated 2 years of me being a sketch artist. I started to draw in 2019. Prior to that, I was a photographer and I'm still a hairdresser and photographer, but prior to that, I was just hairdressing and just doing my photography. So in 2019, I decided to, I was going to decorate my bedroom, and what I wanted to produce was a nice artistic, because I'm quite arty anyway, I wanted to do a nice artistic picture. A nice artistic wall, and create a wall where I was going to put up all my pictures, all the other creative stuff that I was doing and things like that. I had no idea that I was going to be doing a YouTube channel. I was been doing sketching for people or anything like that. It was just a mere wall that I wanted to create, a big art wall for my bedroom, and just to put all my photographs, any other arty stuff that I've done, and all my hairdressing stuff as well. And so when I started to draw, the first picture that I drew, you'll see this in the video coming up now, but the first pictures that I drew, they were absolutely terrible. I just couldn't believe that I was still at the age that I was at. I was like, no, I can't believe that I'm still drawing pictures like this. So what I did was I set out and started to learn the ways of sketching, and here we are today. It took me 6 months from beginning of January so from the beginning of January, it took me 6 months to pretty much learn to create full portraits using graphite pencil. So to know more about my journey, sit back and watch the rest of this video. So we should be starting with these two pictures here. These are the last two pictures that I drew before I started to learn to sketch. The one on the left, obviously you can see on the date there, 7th of January, and then because I wanted to add a bit of colour and all I drew was comic book characters, these were my last two pictures that I drew. Adding all I had was a fine pen, a pencil. I drew that one on the 7th of January. I was pretty much into the samurai sort of stuff, and then a couple of days later or a week later I drew the skull there with the beard and the hair. My main objective to drawing these pictures was to, because of being a hairdresser as well, I wanted to create that sort of image there with the skull and the hair, and I wanted to add a bit of texture to it. And looking at the hair, I was just not happy with the result of it. When I saw these two pictures, I thought to myself, I can't believe it, you know, that I'm drawing like this. So what I set out to do is I had a quick look on YouTube, and I did this, and then the following day I drew this picture. And you know, I had no training in drawing or anything like that. I just looked at the YouTube video, picked up a pencil. All I had was a HB pencil, and I started to sketch. I saw a picture in a magazine. I didn't use any of the grids that I use today or anything like that. And this was the picture that I drew. I was actually quite impressed with it. I looked at it and I thought to myself, oh, you know what, this is actually not too bad. Considering I used to draw comic book characters in pen and ink, not really using a pencil as much, only for a little bit of shading and things like that. I never really experimented drawing with a pencil. And the whole idea of this was that I wanted to draw, obviously, that character with the skull. My idea was that I wanted to draw the skull with realistic looking hair. So I drew this picture and I thought, yeah, this is actually not too bad. No way was I going to be thinking that eventually I'm going to be drawing portraits. So after drawing this picture, I went ahead and, still carrying on drawing hair, I went and drew this one. So pretty much a week later, after watching a few more little videos, a few more tutorials on YouTube, I drew the lady here, this picture here, the lady with the bun. And it came out absolutely, I mean, obviously, all I wanted to draw was hair, so I wasn't really interested in drawing any other features. So a lot of my work that you'll see didn't have any other features in them. So I wasn't drawing any eyes, any noses. I'm not even drawing an outline of the face there or anything like that. So my main thing at that time was to concentrate on drawing the hair. So I went through a series of pictures where I was just concentrating and developing my skills as for drawing the hair. So realistically, within 2 weeks from drawing those pen and ink pictures, 2 weeks later, I'm now thinking to myself, you know, this is actually, I'm actually quite good at this. You know, I've drawn this hair and it looks, to me, pretty realistic. So from here onwards, I then started to progress in drawing a few more pictures with hair and beards, like these pictures here. And being the hairdresser, I mean, I was really enjoying drawing the hair, and then I was obviously learning to draw all the different techniques, all the different shades, how to draw the hair with texture. And then obviously I was then starting to develop in drawing the beard as well, using the graphite pencils and learning to use different grades of pencil. Still not wanting to draw any of the features. I could not draw eyes, noses, ears, or anything like that. And this is probably now, I think the month might have been around February, March time now, where I was drawing these pictures. But still happy enough still to be drawing the hair still. They were coming out absolutely brilliantly, they were, and I was really enjoying drawing these pictures. And then slowly I sort of moved on to drawing more of the hair pictures. I was experimenting with drawing, because I'm quite into the avant-garde style of hairdressing. I saw a couple of avant-garde style pictures as well, which I wanted to draw, and then slowly I drew this one. And slowly here I was starting to get a little bit more confident in adding a few more little details into the work, learning a few more other bits and pieces on how to draw an ear and other little features. Most of the stuff that I actually did learn to do was completely just off of my own head. I just carried on practicing, and I also set myself up with a lot of challenges as well, because at the end of the day, because now I'm starting to think that even though I was actually being known as the guy that was drawing pictures without any faces, without any details or anything like that, I still wanted to, because now I was starting to think that I'm actually quite good at this, and eventually I may want to start doing portraits for people. So realistically, no one's going to want a picture of someone that hasn't got any eyes or ears or anything like that. I thought to myself, why don't I start to learn to add a few more details? So slowly I was starting to add a few more details into my work. But before I did any of that, after drawing all these pictures of hair, I thought, let me have a go at drawing a celebrity. And then I drew David Beckham. Unfortunately though, without any eyes. But strangely, you can still tell that it is David Beckham, even though I didn't draw any eyes in there. But this is where I was starting to add a few more details into the work. Now, mind you, this is probably only about April, May time now. I think this is of 2019, and still not that confident in drawing the eyes, because I just could not draw eyes whatsoever. Even when I was drawing my comic book characters and those sort of characters, I just couldn't draw. I was absolutely hopeless at drawing them. So I left the eyes blank, but every time I showed this picture to someone, they all said, well, that's David Beckham. And so I was starting to think, well, I'm getting the pictures are starting to look quite realistic, and they are starting to take on form of the person that I'm actually drawing. So I went out, so I looked up another celebrity, and one of my favourite actors, especially the movie that I drew this picture from, was Clint Eastwood. And then while drawing the picture here of Clint Eastwood, obviously with no eyes, all the details I was starting to get very familiar with now with my pencil drawing, especially when it came to drawing the fabrics for the hat there that you see. Now, that was the first time I'd drawn any type of fabric or any type of clothing on a person with using pencils. And it came out absolutely brilliant. And then the ear and the rest of the details, the nose, the little wrinkles there, and the mouth and everything. You can tell it's Clint Eastwood, but obviously I still wasn't that confident in drawing any of the eyes or anything like that, any other details of the eyes, the iris or anything. So I said to myself, right, that's it. I'm going to have to draw an eye at some point. So I learned, I saw a couple of tutorials on how to draw an eye, and then from taking on board myself, I came up with this picture. Now, this was the first time of drawing a detailed, using pencil picture that I had drawn of an eye. I'd never drawn eyes before. Mind you, this picture here, it took me, I think, 2 attempts to draw this picture. And after drawing it, I think it took me ages. It took me a good few hours to draw this. But in the end, no matter how much time you take your time with your work whenever you're drawing any of your graphite pencils or anything like that. The outcome of it is absolutely brilliant. It's so worth taking your time over your work, which is why when I do it in my sketches now, I do tell my clients that I do take my time, and it is going to, please don't be in a rush for your pictures. Make sure you want enough time for them to be drawn, because I don't like to rush it. And as you can tell, this drawing here of an eye, and I thought, well, after this is it now. This is absolutely brilliant. I'm quite pleased on the outcome of how I drew this eye, using all the techniques that I had learned. And I thought, let's draw a portrait of someone now. And so I drew Eminem, my first portrait of somebody. I was very, very happy with the result of this picture. It came out absolutely brilliant. I so enjoyed drawing it. I had a lot of challenges on this picture, not only drawing it completely from the picture, but also adding the eyes to the picture, the shadows, all the little wrinkles, and plus drawing the fabric of the clothing as well. I'd not drawn a person with full clothing, with his baseball cap, the chains, his t-shirt. This was my actual first portrait I'd ever drawn. I think this was about 4 months into me learning to sketch, and I was so happy with the result of this picture. It came out absolutely brilliant, it did. And from here, I thought to myself, well, I've got to do more challenges. I've got to really push myself now and try and to draw other bits and pieces now. Where I was before scared of drawing all the eyes, I thought to myself, now I'm going to look at other pictures that I can draw that's going to really challenge my drawing skills. And that's what I basically did. Here I challenged myself of drawing a person that's behind a piece of glass that has droplets on the glass itself. So here I was challenging myself in drawing water, things that are clear, adding reflections, adding other shades and depths, also including eyes, nose, lips, and all the other features as well. I was so happy with this picture that later on I drew an apple with a I drew this apple here. Drawing this apple was absolutely brilliant. It was a really big challenge to draw this, because not only was I having to draw the actual apple and all the shades and all the other tones and depths in there, but also having to draw the droplets on this apple and including the shadows and the reflections that they were given, because obviously where the light source is hitting this apple, you can see it's hitting it from the right hand side, but when the light is hitting inside of the water droplet, you got to realize that it's going to be reflected as well. So I was having to draw the droplets as realistic as possible by making the reflections go through the droplet and then still adding that shadow to the sides of the apple to make it look as realistic as possible, but also giving it that curve look to the actual apple. Obviously, when drawing something realistically, you want to try and create it as 3D looking as possible. So I was having to draw that, making it look round, having those droplets look like they're actually sitting on the apple, but also using the shadows and all the reflections on there as well. I was very much happy with this picture on how it came out. It was really, really, really cool. And then 6 months later, I drew the clown It. This was another brilliant portrait that I drew. So from January, learning all those methods of, all the little methods of drawing and techniques and everything. After 6 months, I drew this picture here, and I was so over them. It looked so realistic. Everybody that I've shown this drawing to all think that it's a photograph and absolutely loved the way it came out. This was just mere graphite pencil, and for the background I used charcoal for the background, and then on the lips, to make those lips seem that little bit more shinier, I used a Tipex pen to give it that little bit more of a shine to it. From here onwards though, I started to experiment. Now that I was quite used to using graphite pencil, now I wanted to experiment using colour pencils. So that's what I basically did. I started to experiment with colour pencils. Now here I was starting to draw with the colour pencils, obviously starting off from scratch with just drawing the hair, but I had an absolute blast drawing the colour pictures, using the colour pencils and experimenting using the colours. I mean, I drew all the hair pictures first, and then eventually I started drawing other characters, drawing celebrities. Here I drew the Maleficent. There is also a Darth Maul one. All these pictures you can find up on my Instagram. But the funny thing is drawing these pictures, to me, I felt my pictures were more realistic with them being black and white and just using graphite pencils. To me, I couldn't see the realism. Even people said to me, and they do look realistic using colour. To me, I just wasn't happy using colour pencils. So I went back to using the graphite pencils. All this was over in, this was coming up to the end of 2019 now, where I was starting to getting back into drawing back into graphite pencils again. Obviously, so towards the end of 2019, I'd experimented using the colour pencils, and then obviously moved on to using the colour ones now as well, but then obviously went back to using the graphite pencils. 2020 then was spent drawing more detail in pictures, getting them as photorealistic as possible, getting more portraits drawn. I drew the Mandalorian here. I also drew Les Brown, but I also drew Mike Tyson too. It was really sort of getting it, honing in on my skills, but also setting up my website, also getting my YouTube stuff started, my YouTube channel started as well, and have that being done, and learning all everything to do with YouTube and all that sort of stuff. And that was all of the whole of 2020, building my brand, getting my work out there, and then eventually starting to do commission pieces for people, where I started to do the pet portrait. The commission pieces have been coming along absolutely brilliant. Here are some of the commissions that I've done in the past. They've been absolutely great. If you are looking to get a portrait done of your pet, or if you want to just get a portrait done as well, you can email me at romeo@romeosketches.co.uk. There is a waiting list now though. There is a bit of a waiting list. There is quite a few people that are wanting their pictures drawn for them. So, but please get in contact with me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible if you're wanting to have a commission piece done for yourself. But It was absolutely brilliant drawing all these commission pieces. I'm now going to be doing more commission pieces as well. I've got them coming on now. The YouTube channel as well is coming along absolutely brilliant, and it's been absolutely a great ride. It has. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's been so good. Lots more things to come for Romeo Sketches. There's a lot more videos. I'm obviously doing my Mandala videos and all that sort of stuff. So there's lots more things to come. I'm going to leave you here now with a few more pictures that I did over the past of my drawings. Hope you enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers. And we are far from being over at Romeo Sketches. So for the first year, it was just me sorting out how to be doing my drawings, what I was going to be doing. And then in 2020, we was hit with the lockdown. And that's when I decided to start the YouTube channel and start doing a lot more of my art and progressing and showing everybody else that they can achieve anything that they put their minds to. I started off, I was very creative, but I started off not knowing anything to do with sketching. You put your mind to it and you can accomplish anything you wish. Well, that's the end of the show, folks. Thank you again for watching. If you got something out of that video, hit that like button and click the subscribe button, hit the bell and turn on notifications so you know when I upload a new video. If there are any videos that you would like me to do and watch, hit me up in the comments below. I've been asked many a times what software I use and things like that, but whatever videos you would like me to do, whether it's how to edit videos, how I shoot my videos, how I edit them, what other softwares I use or anything like that, hit me up in the comments below and we'll see about making any of those videos. Thank you again, everybody. Have an amazing week. My name is Romeo and this is Romeo Sketches signing off. Peace out.